Good afternoon and welcome to CFO Lunchtime Live. I am James Solomons, Global CFO at XREF. Thank you for joining us over lunch today as we shine the spotlight on employee well-being and focus on how this important factor is critical to a CFO's bottom line. Now, Deloitte recently revealed that 70% of CFOs now view workplace well-being as a strategic priority, with the cost of absenteeism to the local economy exceeding 32.5 billion per annum in payroll and lost productivity. CFOs, though, now have the power to change this by an employee benefit called earned wage access, allowing staff access to their earned pay as and whenever they need it, as opposed to waiting for a predetermined payday at some point in the future, providing vital support to your most valuable asset, your staff, which is quite often the largest cost to most businesses these days. Now, to talk about all of this and much more, today we are delighted to be joined by Howard Herman, CFO at McGrath Limited, and Stephen Furman, founder and CEO of Paytime, a leading Australian HR fintech, to understand what earned wage access is and the unique benefits it brings, not only to the employee, but also to the wider organisation. Welcome, panel. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, James. Thanks for having us.
Hi, James. Thank you for having us too.
Howard, can you share with us what made you consider this option for your staff, and what was the sentiment within the wider leadership team around bringing something like this innovative solution in?
Yeah, thanks, James. Well, as we said at the start, I mean, employee well-being is such a critical, I guess, cog of every business these days, and particularly financial well-being as well. And if you just take a look at our business, we're a services business, and two of the main drivers or main, I guess, assets, so to speak, of our business is one, the brand, the McGrath brand, which is, very well known in the real estate circles, but then the other is our people. And the well-being of our people is critical to the success of the business. And when I spoke to Stephen initially about this Paytime product, for me it was a no-brainer. I mean, to provide a product that will give staff financial flexibility, and as Stephen said, it's a very light touch from our end. Paytime did all the heavy lifting. So when we initially discussed this at the so-called ELT or leadership level, everyone agreed that if it's going to cost us nothing, it's going to benefit our people, and it's going to make their lives less stressful, have more financial flexibility. It was almost like a no-brainer for us, even though we had to go through just the formal approval process. There was unanimous support for the product around the exec table.
How easy was it to integrate Paytime into your payroll or ERP? Anything specific, that took a bit longer than you expected, or was it all really, really easy to get in place?
It was pretty seamless, James. As Steve said, I mean, they did all the heavy lifting. There was an integration piece between Paytime and our payroll software, but once that was done, it's a pretty light touch. I think the people in the payroll department probably spend a couple of minutes a week just running a few reports, but it's pretty light touch and absolutely seamless from our point of view. I mean, that was one of the things that we really looked at, is that if it was going to cost not only time, but money, but also a lot of time for our people to integrate this, we'd say, well, guys, is it really worth it? But that was also one of the selling features, that it really wasn't a big issue at all. And once it was fully integrated, it's almost like completely seamless as part of our normal processes and systems. So that was another selling point for us.
Yeah, that's right. Because obviously, you're in professional services. In your world, time is money. So certainly, that would make sense as well. So you're now circa 6 months into using Paytime. What has been the response from the team, and do you see this as a competitive advantage for McGrath in this talent fight that we have at the moment?
Well, to answer the first question, we're actually quite surprised that the uptake has actually been pretty good. There's quite a large percentage that use the product, and different people use it at different times of the month. The feedback has been really good. The communication, which is drafted by Paytime, goes out now and again just to remind people of the product, and it's just a benefit that we didn't offer before. So there's no downside to it. And whether can I say it's an attraction tool? It's certainly not a detraction tool, but it's just one of the things that we're doing overall as the employee benefits. It's just something else that we can offer in our toolkit, so to speak, to say, guys, we've got an early wage product. Whether our competitors have got it or thinking of doing it, I can't comment, but at least we've done it, and it's something that we can talk about, in that whole interview process.
I just want to go a little bit higher level here, and there has been a lot of talk recently around the Great Resignation, employees looking for greater flexibility and work-life balance. And are these sensational headlines that are currently out there, or really is this a changing of the way that CFOs and heads of people and culture should be approaching the way they interwork with their employees?
Look, I'm no expert in it, and certainly our people and culture team are very aware of it, but just taking it up a level, employee well-being is literally everything these days, and your workplace practices, whether it's your flexible work policy or your reward system, or just the whole way in which you interact with your people is front and center of what we do. And employees have just got so much choice now. It's real, and companies have to be on top of their game in that respect to make sure that they retain and attract the best talent. Certainly, it's easier said than done, but there's a whole that's the whole space that people specialize in nowadays, and we at McGrath are trying to do our best. I can't say we're perfect, but we are aware that it's the biggest challenge in any business is the people. And the Paytime tool is just a relevant tool, and just one of the things in our toolkit that we're doing in terms of the overall employee well-being. It's novel, it's relevant, and the financial side of it is it's a benefit to the employees. But if it helps retaining people, if it helps attracting people, that's just one of the many things we're doing in the overall employee well-being space.